Need an oil change today? Our Pit Crew certified technicians will walk you through your car needs, plain language, without pressure. No appointment needed.
Sebastian, hello, thank you. That is very kind of you to say. Thank you. Saboteur, what's up, my dude? Not a lot of people in here at the moment, but that's all right. We can have some alone time, me and you. Mr. Pritchard, alone time, here you are. For my vacation time, it's the week that I get to spend with my kids before they go back to school. I get to have one full week during the summer. I probably am actually supposed to get two, but oftentimes just kind of works out to one. So I'm just spending it with my boys, and I'm just going to try and find some interesting stuff for us to do, something, besides just sitting around for a week. But just hanging out with my kids and just not being at work, which is kind of the main thing that I want. And getting some reviews done of some certain indie books that some folks have been waiting on for a long time, like a lot longer than you have. It's a really bad thing with me. Sometimes those indie books get pushed back. It's just kind of about timing and stuff like that. You know what I forgot was completely and totally happening until like 2 days ago is that the new Spider-Man movie is like out now. started, I don't know if it was late last night or just today, but I know I'll be going to see Spider-Man this weekend. Really hoping it continues to be awesome. You haven't seen any of the new Spider-Man? Really? I enjoy them. I thought the second one with Tom Holland with Mysterio was the least interesting. It's the one I've revisited the fewest times. I've maybe seen it just twice. But it's still good. Of course, the last one with all the other Spider-Men showing up, I was super into that. That one worked really well. So, we'll see. I actually meant to be recording videos for my channel right now, and I got one done. I needed one for tomorrow, but I'm not feeling it right now. I was like, I would so much rather be drawing right now. I don't want to sit here and be shouting into a phone about, hey, look at this action scene in this comic, or that, or this, or that. So I'm like, you know what? It's just kicking the can down the road a little bit. That means I just got to do it tomorrow again, but I wanted some drawing time, so here we are. And I'm not regretting it. You know, Saboteur, I don't really have regular drawing hours. I work until 3 o'clock local time, obviously. Duh. But I come home and I'm usually so wiped out and tired, I sit around and kind of just zone out. Oftentimes I end up taking a nap. And then, depending on what I have to do, I either have to come in here and record a video for the channel, or I'll come in here and start drawing, and I would kind of prefer to get going earlier than I normally do, but it just doesn't work out that way very often. I always end up kind of going later in the night. I'm more of a night person anyway, but and it's so hot, it just sucks the energy and life out of me. So that's kind of a trick as well. So I can't say that I have like it would probably do me better if I could like set a schedule like Mitch, you know, for those of us that follow Blood Force Mitch, he's got like a set schedule. He does them on Wednesdays and Sundays for sure. And then sometimes other days, I think, when he kind of fits them in. But you kind of know when he's going to be doing it. And I should really try to get on a schedule. There was a time a year and a half ago where I was live streaming drawing every night. Like I was finishing up my He-Man fan comic and I was just on a roll. I was also under a deadline. And I was just cranking it out, you know. And I was enjoying it. I was like literally 7 days a week live streaming and had a lot of fun interactions. It was really working. Like, I can do this. But I haven't been able to get back into that kind of rhythm again. Because I've been trying to like wrap up the comic and get it finished and put together so I could start a crowdfunder. So there's a lot of stuff I'm having to do that's not the fun part of creating comics. It's not the drawing part, it's the do this other mundane shit. Because you have to. But all things considered, I'm a pretty lucky guy. Right. Yeah. All we want to do is be at the desk just drawing our books and then just have them magically get lettered and put together and sold and people see them and find them and then we can just keep drawing and drawing and drawing. But then we got to do like the reality hits and we all have to do the not fun stuff. That's why if I was independently wealthy, I would hire people to do this shit for me. JOM, what's up, my dude? How are you doing? Do.
school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money.
Dropped in to give me a like. Thanks, my dude. How's it going? It's good. You know, it's summer. It's hot. Things were kind of stressful at work and kind of frustrating and blah, blah, blah. Got a vacation starting, honestly, after tomorrow. But I got a lot of stuff to wrap up at work before I can bounce on that vacation to help out my crew and my team. Things would be a lot nicer if it wasn't so goddamn hot. It rained super hard for like an hour last night. And man, I went outside as soon as I could and just sat outside and just felt the rain and the moisture and everything. Oh, so great. If we cool down, that helps everything. Kid Vector, what's up? Ice cream helps with the heat. I mean, that's true. The stomach doesn't tolerate large quantities of ice cream, so that's something I have to actually be careful with.
Bonjour. Nous sommes ravis de vous accueillir de nouveau dans notre hôtel. Votre chambre est prête pour votre séjour. Oui.
Earn rewards wherever you book travel. The autographed German credit card from Wells Fargo. In terms of
I'm really not sure how to draw this gun because I'm not good at drawing. I'm not good at making up gun designs. I'm just terrible at it. I need to do like Rob Liefeld does and just have a guy like Stephen Platt who's really good at tech stuff, and then just have him just like, here, I'll draw the figures, I'll do all the cool shit. You come in and draw all the, like the guns and helicopters and shit. Saboteur, because I'm not drawing as consistently as I used to be, it's kind of hard to say. I had a stretch where I was doing a page a day. It depends on the consistency or the complexity, I should say, of what's involved. And I know that kind of goes without saying. And if I didn't have to work and I could just do this, I could bang out a page every 1 to 2 days. But because I kind of hit these infrequently, I kind of jump around. Like, I've got all these other pages I've been working on, for example. Like, I was working on that one. I was working on that one. Working on that one. And none of these pages are completely finished. Like, this one's mostly finished. I just have to kind of continue some of this, like, blast line effect down here. This one, I've got to finish the panel up here and throw in some backgrounds. But like I said, I jump around a lot just to kind of hit the fun stuff I want to do. This one, mostly done. I got to kind of draw this figure here in the background as he's, like, dodging behind this strike. I got to finish that panel there. And then I'm starting here. So, like I said, I jump around. Jump around. Damification. The layouts are getting good. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Shockula, you saw the new Spider-Man? I kind of had like an intention of going today after work, but it was just too hot and I was too tired and I didn't feel like it. So I might go tomorrow after work. Probably more likely like Saturday. I'm hoping it's good. Don't spoil it.
Do parents cover kids' eyes to protect them?
That's a scary part.
Or to secretly steal their wings?
Saboteur, you're trying to knock out pages you don't want to do first. You know, I used to do that, but I found that if I do the fun pages first and I get a lot of them banked and I get excited to see the project done, it helps me get excited to do the less fun pages. And then somehow, sometimes I'm able to just like have a day where I just focus on all the not fun pages and just kind of bang them out, and I'll just kind of knock them out pretty quick. But that's kind of how I work. Yeah, Marvel won't get any more money from you. I get it. I know why some people feel that way. But Spider-Man's got a pretty good track record with me. I enjoy this version of Spider-Man more than any of the others. And, you know, I'm going to give it a shot. I like Tom Holland. The writers try to cram too much stuff in. That does seem to be a continuing problem, just trying to do too much. Like, we have to do this, and we have to do that, and this, and that, and this, and that. I'm like, you know, you can keep it simple. Just make it a character-driven piece. We're interested. Saboteur, you should try that. Do the fun pages first, and then maybe it kind of gives you a little bit of motivation to, like, now you've got a good body of work laid out. Darwin, am I a fan of the Gaijin Studios crew? If you're talking about like Adam Hughes, he's literally... there's an argument that he's my favorite artist of all time. And all the guys that were part of that are freaking incredible. But Adam Hughes is like, it's him and Mark Silvestri are kind of like, who's my favorite? I don't know. I can't decide between the two of those fellas. You prefer Spider-Man 2? Yeah, that one was great. I'm not one of those guys that just fawns all over how brilliant Spider-Man 2 was. Like, I like it a lot. But it just, I'm like, it was certainly fine. It's up there, but some people just get so over the top, like, it's the most amazing movie in the history of cinema. I'm like, no. Yeah. It's good, for sure. It's an easy watch. Like, I can put it on anytime and watch it and enjoy it, but it's a shame that they kind of screwed over the whole Sam Raimi trilogy by demanding he fuck up his third one, screwing it over. Darwin, it would be cool to see some YouTube documentary on Gaijin. That would be awesome. I have such a... I don't have a great setup to create high production value things like it sounds like you're suggesting you'd like to see. I too would like to see something on that, but I have such limited kind of like tech with my setup. It's just me and my cell phone, honestly. And to create something that would be interesting is like, I'm trying to do some new stuff. I've been throwing in some editing and sound effects and stuff like that, just trying to punch it up, trying to, you know, do something that's a little bit more interesting and add a little bit of variety to my silliness without losing whatever potential charm might exist in the first place with me. I don't know how else to put it. How do I feel about the Doc Ock Aunt May romance comic issue? I've never seen it. I don't know. I got to imagine there's more than one. Is this a story that happened in the comics years ago? Because I seem to remember seeing bits and pieces of it, of a story like that, but it was way a long time ago. If that's what you're referring to. But as far as how do I feel about the basic premise, it's like anything. Some people think, and they'll hear an idea and instantly say that's the dumbest idea ever thought of, in which oftentimes it can be. But honestly, if you take an idea and you do it right, you might strike upon something kind of genius. Octopus would have to genuinely, for me to like the story, he'd have to genuinely be interested in her, like legitimately romantically interested in her, not manipulating her to get to Spider-Man or something like that. Then I'm interested. But again, I don't know what actually happened, so I don't know what the actual story is.
Missing a back to school must have. So Dameification, it is an older story. Is it the version of Aunt May that looks like she's like 452 years old? Like that old classic version? Because it's kind of weird for Dr. Octopus to be interested in Aunt May if she's like that super old version. Because he's like an older guy, but she looks like she's in her 80s and he looks like he's in his 40s or something. So that's a kind of an odd element depending on how that was actually played out.
It's like, imagine the actress that played Aunt May in the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie having a relationship with Alfred Molina. Like, that just doesn't work. It doesn't. Feels kind of odd. Favorite X-Men storyline? I would have to be the Dark Phoenix saga. In terms of stories that are just cohesively the most well put together and stand the test of time. Not much that can really compare to that. There are a lot of like small individual storylines going on in like the Jim Lee Uncanny X-Men era that I really like, but they're also surrounded by a lot of convoluted nonsense which kind of dilutes them a little. She was wrinkly and they were all drawn blocky. She got upset and rejected him. Great emotional pacing. You might have to study that issue for story structure. I'm going to have to seek it out. It sounds interesting. Actually, give it a fair shot myself. Everything I mentioned is Claremont. The Dark Phoenix, the Jim Lee era, because that was the Uncanny X-Men era. And all of that stuff had some really interesting ideas going on for sure. Then, of course, Claremont was going off into like cuckoo areas. He was trying different things. I mean, he'd been writing it forever, and he doesn't want to repeat himself, I'm guessing. So I get it, but man, did he do some like what? You did what? You did what to Psylocke? What a convoluted story. I much prefer Asian assassin Psylocke over purple-haired British Chippy. Actually, when I think of what my favorite X-Men story is, I can't really say it's any one. I mean, all right, no, like I was saying, the Dark Phoenix saga. But there was those story points that Claremont was doing when Jim Lee was getting started. If you take out all of this weird, convoluted nonsense and get it down to its most basic story points, the whole time when like Wolverine had been crucified by the Reavers and almost beat to death. The X-Factor crew is off on their own fighting Apocalypse, and Cyclops is having to sacrifice his son. Rogue coming back to life. Wolverine, Psylocke, and Jubilee running around together. Storm being reborn, running around with Gambit. All of those story points in their most simplistic form are some of my favorite stories. Like, I still love them.
they're hard to read comics if you try to absorb every story element that Claremont was throwing in there, because it's like, oh, it's so convoluted. Like, why are you making this so difficult to read? But the basic stories, you know, I found really interesting, really good stuff. No offense, but the costume here reminded me of the Boys comics, which I liked the designs of at the time. I don't. It's no offense taken. I don't. You know, these are variations on themes that I come up with years ago. These are two of my original creations as a 14-year-old kid. This guy's essentially in the same outfit he always wore. This guy's in something very different, more streamlined. It's just an all white outfit, no designy elements, just white spandex bodysuit, the mask with the open scalp, and then a big white cape. He's a heavy duty energy projector character. But yeah, I'm just reusing old characters for once that I will never have any use for otherwise. So it's mostly all my own stuff from years ago. You didn't like Wolverine banging all of the students? Who was Wolverine banging? Was he? I must have missed those issues. Kind of want to seek him out. Yeah, badass covers on Uncanny. Yeah, all that Jim Lee stuff. So cool. Chloe Charles, hello, how are you? He says it's neat that you have such continuity from such a young age. Well, it's interesting to me because, again, as a kid who was reading comics, I mean, I was born in '77, so, you know, I was reading all these books from the Image founders while they were still at Marvel, and, you know, I like most of us, I created all my own characters, and then they were important to me for a long time. But then I got older and I started creating new characters, and I was like, kind of eventually understood that I'm like, I don't have anything really interesting to say with these original creations of mine. They're just rip-offs of Wolverine and Punisher and Spider-Man and Deathlock and things like that. And I don't have anything to say about them. And I tried to like come up with storylines for them, but I didn't. And I moved on and created other characters that I were more interesting and kind of stuck with those. But to me, in the back of my mind, these original guys, these two guys here, and then this guy who's kind of in silhouette getting stabbed, he's this guy down here too. They're my three original characters. This guy down here was my original guy, and he was just physically the Punisher with Wolverine's powers. And long black hair, and the ladies loved him, and he was just cool as hell. Because that's what a 14-year-old kid would create. But I don't have anything, because when I take away, like, okay, he can't have Wolverine's powers, he can't just be cool just because he's cool. It's like, I don't have anything to say about him. But I kind of crafted this whole other story that I'm doing here, where I could throw them in one time, and have them be, like, backup characters to the main story that's going on. And I actually have the opportunity to put my original characters in a book, in a story that I've actually crafted and fully drawn and lettered and printed at least once before I die.
A rite of passage for all gamers and comics lovers, right? I made ripoffs of Wolverine and Punisher. Am I secretly Garth Ennis? Right. That's funny, my dude. Sheldon, what's up? You think you created only a few characters when you were in school? Yeah, because again, they're all dumb. Again, I've said there's a video on my channel I did like 3 years ago when I was doing 100 subscriber celebration, where I showed like the first comic I ever made, and it's me just ripping off panels from various comics, like literally just like reproducing them, but putting the characters in my characters' costumes. And it's just terrible, but it's fun because it was 14-year-old me just having the time of my life making comics, realizing how actually hard it is. It is not easy to do these right. But like I said, I'm just like, no, I don't have anything to say about them. So they'll only exist in my head. I'm like, you know what? Nope. Let's get these guys on paper and have them do something once at least. I could just make him be kind of mysterious and cool, and that's easy. Mello, master painter extraordinaire, genius artist. Hopefully putting out a book of his own soon, so he can just show us all how actually genius he really is. And then I can just hang it up. I'm like, okay, the guy's this good. I'm surrounded by people this good all the time. It's time for me to stop. I'm doing my best Rob Liefeld. Like, I'd have a screamy face going on, right? That's important. We all need screamy faces. Yeah, Mello's like, nah, I'm just going to tease it off for the next 20 years. You know what? You say that. One of my homies, one of my buds, trying to find it here. Oh my God. Ugh. Where the hell did I put it? Ugh. Oh my God. A buddy of mine. 3 years ago, he put out his second issue of his comic, and 3 years later, he's finally got me the third issue. And I love this thing so much. To me, it's absolutely brilliant. Like, I want to make a video on it immediately, but I've got other videos for indie books that I owe first. So I got to do them kind of in order. But this dude sent me this thing, and I just love this thing so much. His drawing, his use of color, the homages to classic 80s characters. Like, this is like a alternate version of a Thundercat, Lion-O. This is He-Man. This is Wonder Woman. Oh, I love this book so much. Can't wait to show it up. This is issue 3. Yeah, he says in the back, the creator, Saul Haberfield, he says, I finished issue 2 of Beyond the Void in May 2023. And as I write this, it's now July 2026. It took 3+ years to put out issue 3. But he's like, he had a lot happen in his life. He says his father became ill, suffered from dementia. His father died. They had kids, him and his wife. He's working. He didn't feel the urge to create for long stretches of time. And I get it, but he finally got that energy and that motivation back, and he created issue 3, and he didn't lose a step. It all looks fantastic. So yeah, my intention is to have a video out on it after I do everyone else's in the next week and a half or so. But I want to shout that thing out as much as I can, because man, does he just nail it. Oh, the silhouette of the guy, this one here? Yeah, that cover is nice. Yeah. Kev, thanks for stopping in, man. Just stopping in real quick, right? You wish his father got a chance to read issue 3. I'm sure he probably feels the exact same way. It's one of those things where you're like, you never know how long time's going to last, right? So do your thing while you can. There's too much to do is the problem. I've got so many things I want to create, so many ideas I want to get on paper, so many stories I want to tell that I've wanted to do since I was a kid. And now I have kind of the best opportunity to do it, but it's like, but I'm also getting old. And these things do not get made quickly. It's like you really gotta like focus on it and do it, cram in the work. My brother has a growing fan base. The Blood Moon comic is done, but all his books are in the same universe. His Bliss series that he's done, that he's still continuing, the Blood Moon series, and then the Dragon Strike is the name of the next book that he's got coming out. It's all in the same universe. All the same characters are there. The difference is that Blood Moon was very much an R-rated adult comic. There's a lot of like sex and shit in it, which is why he did it as a separate thing. He's like, I want to create an adult book just once. I want to put in like adult themes, and he's like, I basically want to have hot vampire, werewolf, women fucking, and have my hero character who's kind of a version of my brother, and he wants to have his character fucking him too, and then have crazy awesome violence and just make a ridiculous, over the top but fun book. And he did. And I enjoyed it. It was a fun romp. I enjoyed it a lot. But he is close to being done with his next one. And I'll be shouting it out for him. He kind of abandoned his YouTube channel. He just couldn't keep up with it, so I'll help shout it out for him. He's like me. He wants to create and make things, but work and life and kids just kind of keep him from getting as much done as he would prefer to have. So you do what you can when you can, right? Go the adult Garth route comic. I mean, I don't know what his goals are. He just wants to make shit that's fun and have more time to do it. Hey Mello, thanks for stopping in, man. I always see you doing your live streams in the middle of the day when I'm at work and I can't really do anything. Like sometimes I stop in and I listen for a minute, but I'm in the middle of working and I'd love to like chat you up and watch, but we're on different schedules. The forbidden interspecies vampire werewolf love? The comics code shall hear of this. I don't know. Can the X-Men do anything more? Are they have they done everything? That's the problem with characters that have been around since the 60s and longer. It's like eventually you're like, what can you do that's not been done? And so you either have to face the wrath of the fan base because you strayed away from what the characters are, or you're just retreading what's already been done. It's kind of a no-win situation. And like I love Superman, but if for some reason, let's say Hell freezes over for some reason, and DC Comics hit me up and says, "Hey, you want to do a Superman run?" My instinct would be sure, but I'm like, what the fuck do I have to say about Superman that hasn't been done a million times before, better than I ever will? I don't know. I got nothing to say about Superman. But again, I love the character. I love the idea. I love what he stands for, and I would buckle down and try and come up with something. But God, I don't know. Characters are immortalized now. Yeah, it's like I don't like the best Superman stories have been told already. My favorite Superman story, honestly, it's the first Christopher Reeve movie. Like to me, Superman will never be better than that, and he never has been to me. Close ones are a series called Superman for All Seasons. Love that. And I thought Kingdom Come was a great take on the character. Like, taking the character and he's gone away because the violent anti-heroes of the world have kind of taken over and the public seems to want that. So he's like, well, if I'm not necessary, I guess I'll go away. But then all that shit gets out of control and they need Superman to come back and get things back under control. And then I actually really like Superman 2. Like, to me, the first movie and the second one just go hand in hand with the... they're just together. Kind of like the Lord of the Rings movies. Like, I don't watch one, I watch them all, you know. If I watch one in short order, I'm going to be watching the second and third one. I just do. Same thing with Star Trek, which ironically is playing in, the music is playing in the background. If I watch Star Trek 2, I will be watching Star Trek 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then I'm sad when it's over because I love the characters and I love the stories. I watched Lois and Clark. I kind of liked it. It's one of those things where it never quite got as good as it could be because of special effects limitations. But there was chemistry between Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. And at the time, young me was like, I don't know if I'd ever seen, like at the time, Terry Hatcher is one of the most beautiful women I'd ever seen in my life. I'm like, how could a woman be this hot? Kid me was like, wow, that is the woman that I find beautiful. Yeah, Star Trek, my jam, especially the Orange Kryptonite. I don't remember that. Sheldon, that Terry Hatcher, right? She and to me, you know what it was about her? And this might, I don't know, I was going to say this might sound weird, but not really. But it wasn't that she was like the most physically beautiful woman, like her body. It was all her, like her face, her expressions, her hair, her charisma. Like she was just charming and beautiful. And then, of course, physically attractive as well. But young me was like, her eyes, her lips, that dark hair, like I'm like, that's what I'm into. That's 100% what I'm attracted to is, you know, dark hair, dark eyes. It's kind of like I always make this comparison. The movie Zorro with Catherine Zeta-Jones. She was one of the most beautiful women ever, and it was all in her face, her hair, her voice, her presence. I'm like, that woman is freaking just beyond stunning. And it wasn't because she was like running around flossing her hot body everywhere, because she wasn't in that movie. I mean, there was that sword fight, but that was kind of done for fun. When it's her voice and her presence, man, that is just sign me up. They're real and they're spectacular. Are we talking about the last episode of Lois and Clark? I don't remember how it ended. I actually, somewhere around, I want to say maybe season 3, it changed and I lost interest big time. I was into it, I think, season 1 and maybe 2. So I don't even remember what happened. What did happen? Do I remember a scene where Dean Cain Superman was standing out in the Arctic screaming at something? Nev Campbell would have made a good Lois. I could see that. Blodia? Hello? Yeah, TV budget, especially in it was the 90s, right? It had to be because I was still living at home with my parents. So, yeah. But then again, I was into Smallville for a while, but that thing dragged itself on too far too.
Ignore Harsha.
And again, for me, it's hard to beat Christopher Reeve. He just that character, that representation to me is just the best he's ever been, and I biased me is like that's the best he'll ever be. That scene when he pulled Lois out of the wrecked car under the dirt from the earthquake, and when he sees her dead and screams as he blasts into the sky, that shit gives me chills, dude. The last thing you want is a character that powerful with the literal powers of a god emotionally distraught, and he uses his powers to literally change time to save the life of the woman he loves. And she never knew. That's the heroic thing. She has no idea what he did. What he did he altered reality to save her, and he never got to have her anyway. I love that type of stuff when a hero does some kind of dramatic sacrifice like that, and no one knows. No one ever knows. I don't want to, but I'm going to have to wrap it up. It's almost 10 o'clock here, and barf. I do not want to go to work. I just want to go to bed and stay in bed. And have 90s era Terry Hatcher right next to me, telling me I'm a good boy. You're a good boy, Rob. You're an amazing artist, and people love your comics, and you're charming, and you're handsome. And I'm like, stop lying to me. She's like, this is what you pay me for. I'm like, right. Yeah, it's not so much he's reversing the spin of the earth. That's what I hear people talk about often, is they're like, what kind of stupid conceit is that? Like, you stop the planet and turn it backwards and it turns back time? Like, no, but they want it to have a visual language to show that he did something magical through his passion, his love, his rage to save the life of the woman he loves. And it's just a visual representation, as silly as it is, to show that he did that thing. I think it's perfect. It works perfectly. So, hatch me like an egg or something. But yeah, guys, I gotta call it a night. I could go for a lot longer. But I can't. So, that's all for now, fellas. Probably be on tomorrow. We'll see. So thank you, fellas. Sheldon, Kev, anyone else who might still be listening, secretly or not. Appreciate it, guys.